It's funny how much modern life is just geared towards avoiding anything unpleasant, isn't it?
Absolutely. Instant everything, comfort on tap.
Yeah, and the message seems pretty clear. Pain is bad, avoid it. Full stop.
Right. But what if? What if that's missing a huge piece of the puzzle?
Exactly. What if the things we try so hard to dodge, you know, discomfort, struggle, maybe even certain kinds of suffering, what if they're actually key?
Key to becoming stronger, more capable,
That's the idea we're exploring today. We've actually got some surprising science on this.
and a framework,
Hmm.
sort of, for thinking about the different types of useful hardship.
Plus some pretty amazing stories. People who basically turn pain into, well, into a kind of superpower.
It definitely challenges the way we usually think about happiness and ease, doesn't it?
It really does. We're so busy optimizing for comfort, we might be skipping the very things that build resilience.
That drive real growth.
Hmm.
And when you look at the biology, the psychology, it starts to make a lot of sense.
Okay, let's dive right into that science then. Because I admit, it sounds a bit strange at first, our bodies and minds benefiting from hardship.
Well, think about something really basic, like building muscle at the gym.
Right, okay. Not exactly comfortable.
Not at all. That burn you feel,
Yeah.
that soreness afterwards,
Uh-uh.
that's actually your muscle fibers getting tiny microscopic tears.
Okay, sounds bad.
But it's not. It's the signal. It tells your body, hey, repair crew needed.
Right.
And the fascinating part is they don't just repair. They rebuild thicker, stronger. It's adaptation.
So controlled stress leads to improvement. The body basically says, okay, that was tough, got to be ready for that next time.
Precisely. It physically upgrades itself. You've got things like satellite cells jumping in to help regenerate.
Mm.
So quite a process.
That's a really clear physical example. Pushing past comfort equals strength. And it's not just muscles, is it? Our brains are always changing too. Neuroplasticity.
Exactly. Neuroplasticity.
Yeah.
And novelty. Challenge, these are like fertilizer for new brain connections.
So tackling something hard mentally that actually rewires things.
It does. When you grapple with a complex idea or, learn a new skill, your brain is literally building new pathways.
Even if it feels frustrating, like really difficult.
Especially then, that struggle is the workout for your brain. Think about learning, say, coding or a musical instrument.
Oh yeah, the initial phase is brutal.
Right, that mental strain, that awkwardness, that's your brain physically changing, improving cognitive flexibility, problem-solving skills,
Mm.
right down to the synaptic level. The connections get more efficient.
Wow. Okay, so like mental growing pains almost. You push through, your brain gets better.
You got it.
And this applies even to the really big stuff, right? The things we definitely don't choose. I remember reading about post-traumatic growth.
Yes, PTG.
Yep.
And what's really striking there isn't just that people survive trauma.
Uh-huh.
It's that a significant number actually report positive psychological changes because of it.
Positive changes after trauma.
Yeah. Things like a greater sense of personal strength, a deeper appreciation for life, maybe stronger relationships, new priorities.
That's incredible.
It is. It's not about saying the trauma was good, not at all. But the struggle itself can become a crucible. It forces a kind of rebuilding.
Shakes the foundations, allowing something stronger to be built.
In a way, yes. A more resilient structure.
That's powerful. And it's interesting you mentioned this isn't just a modern idea. There are traditional practices that seem to deliberately use discomfort, like Misagi in Japan.
That's right. And beyond the famous image of, standing under freezing waterfalls.
Which just sounds intense.
It is. But
Fact.
there's also this deeper idea connected to hooray purification. It's seen as washing away impurities, spiritual clutter.
So not just physical toughness.
No, it's about achieving a reset, a state of renewal, heightened awareness. There are different forms: breathing, fasting, even fire rituals sometimes. The common thread is intentionally facing discomfort to find a deeper sense of self, to push past your perceived limits.
Using discomfort as a tool for transformation. That connects perfectly to this framework you mentioned, the 3 types of beneficial suffering. Let's break those down. First up, voluntary suffering. You call it the Stoic gym.
Right. The Stoic gem. This is about choosing discomfort deliberately, not for an immediate practical payoff, but as training.
Like cold showers, fasting,
Yeah.
getting up obscenely early.
Exactly. Those kinds of things. The goal here is internal. You're building resilience, self-discipline. You're practicing being uncomfortable.
So when life throws you a curveball,
You're better prepared. You've practiced enduring hardship,
Mm.
so unexpected difficulties have less power over you. You've built that mental muscle.
okay, Proactive conditioning. Makes sense. Then the second type, purposeful suffering. The grind. This sounds more familiar, maybe.
Probably. The grind is the discomfort tied directly to chasing a goal you value.
Like the soreness from training for a marathon?
Or the frustration of learning a new language, the long hours building a business.
Right. Things that are hard but worth it.
Exactly. The key difference from voluntary suffering is the clear return on investment. You endure the difficulty because it's necessary to get something you want.
The achievement makes the struggle worthwhile.
Yes. The pain is part of the price of progress.
Okay, so the pain isn't the goal, but it's part of the path to the goal.
Got it.
And the third type, redemptive suffering, the Phoenix effect. This sounds like the stuff we don't choose.
Precisely. This arises from life's inevitable hardships, betrayal, failure, loss, illness, things forced upon us.
So not voluntary, not directly tied to a chosen goal.
Right. But the Phoenix effect is about the potential for profound growth from these unwanted experiences, rising from the ashes,
Nietzsche. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger.
That's the essence of it. It's about finding meaning, learning hard lessons, developing resilience because of the pain, not despite it, letting it reshape you, potentially in a stronger way.
Extracting strength from experiences you'd never ask for. Wow. Okay, these three types give a great framework. Now, you mentioned a really practical way listeners can start playing with this idea. Holding ice.
Yeah, it sounds simple, maybe even silly, but the ice holding exercise is a great little microdose of discomfort.
So you just hold ice cubes.
You hold them and you pay attention. Your hand gets cold, it starts to hurt. Your instinct screams, drop it.
Uh-huh.
The key is to observe that sensation, acknowledge the urge, and then consciously choose to hold on for a bit longer.
Just overriding the instinct.
Exactly. It teaches you on a very basic level. Discomfort is temporary. I can actually handle more than I think. It builds that mental muscle of, this is unpleasant, but I'm okay.
That does sound surprisingly powerful for something so simple.
Ah.
Okay, let's bring this to life with some examples. People who really embodied this embrace of suffering. David Goggins comes up a lot.
Goggins is an extreme example for sure. His whole story is about deliberately seeking out insane levels of discomfort.
He wasn't just overweight, he became a Navy SEAL, an ultra-marathon runner.
Right. He seems to believe that by constantly pushing into pain, you forge unbelievable mental toughness. It's about that internal transformation through relentless challenge.
A very intense version of voluntary and purposeful suffering, it seems.
Definitely. And then you have someone like Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor.
Right, you'd think emperor, you'd think luxury. But his meditations.
Exactly. Written during times of war, plague, betrayal. His private journal is full of him grappling with how to stay virtuous and calm amidst chaos.
So he wasn't avoiding the suffering of his role.
Not at all. He was using it. Using adversity as a tool for self-reflection, for strengthening his character. He was actively trying to learn from the hardship.
Turning redemptive suffering into a kind of philosophical training.
You could say that. And then a more contemporary example, J.K. Rowling.
Ah, yeah. Famously wrote Harry Potter while facing really tough times.
Single mother, on welfare, battling depression. What's striking is how she didn't just endure it, she channeled it.
Into the books.
Absolutely. Think about the themes in Harry Potter: loss, prejudice, resilience, overcoming darkness. You can feel her personal struggles informing the story.
So she used that redemptive suffering as creative fuel, in a way.
Yeah, it seems like it. She transformed her pain into something that resonated with millions.
Looking at these examples, Goggins, Aurelius, Rowling me, there's a mindset shift, isn't there? They didn't seem to get stuck in why me.
That's the crucial pivot, moving from why is this happening to me, which is a victim stance,
Right.
to asking, what can I learn from this? Or how can this make me stronger? Or what's this teaching me?
That reframes everything. It puts you back in the driver's seat, even when the situation is bad.
Exactly. It turns suffering from just a negative thing into a potential source of wisdom and strength, finding the opportunity within the obstacle.
This has been really insightful. Okay, so for our listeners who are intrigued, how can they start experimenting with this? You mentioned a 7-day suffering challenge.
Yeah, nothing extreme. It's about consciously dipping a toe into voluntary discomfort to build that resilience and self-awareness.
Okay, what's step 1?
Step 1. Choose just one small form of voluntary suffering for 7 days. Keep it simple. Like ending your shower with 30 seconds of cold water.
Okay, doable. Or
Maybe cutting out sugar completely. Or meditating for 15 minutes even when your mind is racing. That mental discomfort counts. Maybe a short digital detox each evening. Just pick one thing.
one thing, 7 days. Got it. Step 2.
Step 2 is reflection. Each day, take a couple of minutes to journal about it. Not just what you did, but how it felt.
What kind of questions should you ask yourself?
Things like, what was my gut reaction? How did my body feel? My mind? Did I resist? How? What did I learn about my own willpower? Did it get easier? What did enduring this reveal about me?
So really observing the internal experience makes sense. And step 3.
Step 3 is optional, but encouraged. Share your insights. If you have a little breakthrough, share it online with the hashtag #EmbraceTheSuck.
Embrace the suck. I like it.
We'll keep an eye out for interesting stories, maybe share some later. It helps connect with others doing it and reinforces your own learning.
That's a great practical challenge. Okay, as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the core message, the one big idea you want people to take away?
I think it comes back to that quote, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek."
Hmm.
Often, the very things we flinch away from, the discomfort, the challenges, even a bit of suffering, that's precisely where our hidden strengths, our resilience, our biggest potential for growth lies waiting.
Don't run from the cave. Powerful thought. Well, if this conversation sparked something for you, if you're rethinking your own relationship with discomfort, definitely hit that like button, subscribe so you catch our next deep dive.
Let's keep talking about how we can all, maybe they learn to transform some of that inevitable pain into real power.